Hey everybody, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Sean.
And welcome to another episode of the Vitamin E Show. Today we're talking about time-efficient training. We're going to kind of lay out a guideline for a full workout. Warm-up, the actual exercise, workout portion, and the cool-down. We're going to lay that out start to finish. You should be able to get all that in 45 minutes and kind of start teaching you how to be a little bit more time-efficient with your training if it's something you've been struggling with or if you find yourself struggling to find the time to get in.
I know it's the biggest struggle. It's what I hear most from most people here coming in, don't have the time. We know everyone's busy, so we're going to help you out with all of that today here. Hope you enjoy.
Yep. So we're talking about time-efficient training today, and we're also going to lay out some good guidelines you can follow just in general of what your workout should look like. A lot of people come in, they get started, and you're either just hopping on the treadmill or you're hitting some machines in the building. So we're going to kind of help you program that out. We're going to type out an exact workout you can take and follow. It'll be in the description of this video, but we're going to actually kind of dive into that, break it down, and help you with a time-efficient program. We say time efficient because that's the thing we hear the most. I don't have time to get in the gym, or I didn't have time to make it last week, and this and the other because kids, work, school, whatever it is. You've got lots of extracurriculars. So squeezing that in, an important part of that is making sure you're not wasting time in here and you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Because what happens is a lot of people will try to conserve time, come in, just hit the treadmill for 30 minutes because that's just one thing to do. I don't have to think about it. I'm just going to hop on and hit the treadmill, and then wonder why you're not getting results. And so,
that's what makes most people discouraged. Not having the right plan.
Results.
You come in, people look for results when you're coming in. So if you just come in to do what you have time for, that's not going to be what you need to get the results that you want. So
right. So we're going to break the workout down into three parts. You have your warm up, you have the actual exercise workout portion, and you have a cool down. And cardio could be included, in the cool down section of it. For intensive purposes, the workout is just going to be the actual exercise, functional training, strength training portion of the exercise, and any cardio you would like to add, you would add that in the cool down section. So first off, the warm up, we're going to give you the warm up we use for our team training program. It's going to take you about 10 minutes if you complete it as is from start to finish. It will warm up every joints in the body, every major muscle group in the body, and just prime you to benefit from that workout better, prevent injury, and warming up properly is really important in general. We all know that, but it'll be a great one you can follow. If you're looking to snag bits and pieces of it, if you're warming up a specific body group, that's fine, but I would still suggest a full 10 minutes on whatever muscle group you're warming up. Your heart rate should be elevated. We actually put out an article a while back about what your proper warm-ups could look like, so you can reference that. It's at aftrussville.com, or you can search through our Facebook post. But it should be about 10 minutes, and you should be a little out of breath, heart rate elevated, blood pumping. At that you're getting yourself to the point at which you feel ready to exercise really.
And the warm-ups are going to be different from your cool-downs. I see a lot of times people come in, warm up, first thing they do, they're stretching their hamstrings, doing static stretches, just holding that, and then wondering why they're not properly warmed up. The whole point of the static stretching is to relax the muscles out completely. If you do that before your exercise, you're going to get in there, your muscles are all relaxed, and then you go put tension on that. You're setting yourself up, you're more vulnerable for strains and tears. So these are going to be dynamic warm-ups that we're showing you here, so constantly moving.
And just the science behind that, when you strength train or resistance train, you are breaking down the muscle fibers. You're making micro tears in the muscle. And when you do static stretching, you are doing the exact same thing. So pre-tearing your muscles before you're going to go tear them some more is not a great idea. It is more likely for injury, not the other way around. If you feel like you need to get loosened up, dynamic stretching and movements is the way to go. So we'll include all that, so you just copy it and take it and use it right for your workout. But main thing is just make sure you're warming up all the muscle groups involved in whatever you're about to work and all the joints involved. So for bench press, for example, it's not just the chest, it's also the shoulders, Not just the shoulder joint, but the anterior delts are a big part of the bench press. And also triceps and the elbow joint need to be warmed up. And lastly, the back. Lats and traps need to be activated and warmed up as well, because they're going to be a big part of the stabilization in that movement. And I'm also a fan of warming up your core too before you get started really on anything, because core is going to be involved with everything. And it also is going to help raise the overall body temperature, which is going to make you feel more like exercising. So that's pretty much all there is to it. The warm up, you could throw a little bit of cardio in there with it if you want. If you just kind of need that to get your blood flowing and get your kind of heart rate elevated more, totally fine. However, there is a lot of research that shows too much cardio prior to workout will lower the overall exercise performance. So I would discourage too much of it. Save your energy for the actual workout part. But there's nothing wrong with getting on there and doing a little jog for 5 minutes or a little fasting, climb, walk, whatever you want to do. It's fine. So for the actual workout portion, it really should take you no longer than 25 to 30 minutes. If you are taking longer than that to train and you're doing a HIIT style functional training, which is what we're going to lay out for you today, the reason why we're going to lay that out is because that's going to be the biggest bang for your buck when we're talking about time efficient training. So get in, get out, get done. So it's going to be the best way to get all that into one, and it's going to be very physically exhausting. And obviously that's relative. Something that's physically exhausted for rugby superhero over here may not, it's a little out of my league, probably out of your league too. Doesn't mean it just needs to be relatively physically exhausting. So you can take the exercise we're going to lay out. We're going to kind of pick a middle of the road. If you're a bit more advanced, maybe you want to make it harder. And if you're just getting started, maybe take off some of the repetitions or a little bit less time on some of the things we're doing and just, make it yours. Maybe increase the rest time. There's all types of ways to modify things and make things easier and harder. But you got to start with something that is relatively intense for you. Oh, I thought you were going to say no? Good, okay. So, the main thing, remember in your workout, is you need to be doing full body workouts. If you're only coming two or three times a week, they need to be full body each time. So you need to do all the big movers. So that's a press, a pull, and a squat, or a deadlift, some sort of compound lower body movement. Those are the three big movers, and they also need to include some core activity. You cover all of those principles, and then you fill the gaps with things that we like to call like kettlebell swings, battle ropes. So they're things that activate multiple muscle groups. It's not necessarily like a resistance on that. It's not like the same thing as a chest press or doing a shoulder press, but battle ropes do activate the shoulders to an extent, and also triceps, biceps, forearms, grip, all that. It works a lot of the upper body, just not in the same way that doing a chest press is going to. So it's like a finisher is what we refer to them a lot, but you can incorporate those in your HIIT circuit to fill the gap when you need to add more intensity and add time, because you can't just keep doing presses and pulls and squats. Your strength is gonna decrease sharply over the workout, so you have to have some fillers in there that are gonna do more of a total body cardiovascular activity, up the heart rate, and then you're gonna have your big movers that actually are gonna be a little bit easier on the heart rate than some of those high intensity intervals in there.
And then mixing in the different things, like you said, the core. Another one I like to make sure I try to do is put in some type of like isolated leg movement too. So like lunges, step ups, different things like that. They're going to take a little bit more energy out you, but not quite as big as those big compound movements require as much strength there. So
right,
really good for kind of building up that stabilization and stuff around the joints as well.
Absolutely. So generally speaking on the workout, you can get about 5 to 7 exercises in, and then do about 3 rounds of that if you're holding each exercise for like 30 to 45 seconds. And with minimal rest, you should be able to get about 3 rounds of that in 25 minutes. If you need to start with 4. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just going to, you said minimal rest. That's key to getting this done in that 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I notice a lot of times people rest a lot longer than they really intend to, or than they probably know. Spend 2 to 3 minutes in between every single set. The majority,
30 seconds.
Yeah, the majority of your workout at that point becomes resting, right, compared to actually working, which is going to decrease the efficiency of it. You're spending longer amounts of time in here and getting less results from that.
It's going to decrease the time efficiency and decrease the effectiveness of the workout as well. So rest intervals, I advise wearing a stopwatch either around your neck or just use a watch that has a stopwatch on it. Keep track of how much you're resting, because most of us rest too much and don't even realize that, like you just said. So, like I said, depending on your current, physical fitness level, I would say probably a minimum of 4 exercises. It would take at least 4 to kind of cover all of the major muscle groups and provide a core and functional movement in there as well. And you know, you're probably not going to get a whole lot more than 7 in there if you're doing everything for at least 30 to 45 seconds. However, if you require 0 rest and you're very, very advanced, you might could squeeze in 8 exercises in there. And again, if you want the workout to be longer, we're laying this out for a 25-minute workout. So pick yourself 5 to 7 exercises. We're going to lay out some of our favorites and kind of what you can follow, but just know you want to keep a press, a pull, and some sort of lower body compound movement like a squat or a deadlift in the mix. Those are your main movers, and you build around those. The cool down is pretty simple. As a general rule of thumb, you should cool down for about half as long as you worked out. So if your workout's 25 minutes, then that's about a 12.5-minute cool down. I like to start the cool down, me personally, with just walking a little bit and kind of let my heart rate calm, sip on some water, some BCAAs, walk around, cool off, a couple laps around the gym, you know, quarter mile on the treadmill, whatever you want to do. I like to do that personally, but if you don't have time, you can go straight into some dynamic stretching again for cooling down, which is what we do in our team training, and we'll have that. We'll have our same cool down list that you can follow there, and then move into some static stretching to finish off the cool down. I would advise that over, if you have to pick between cardio and stretching, stretching is much more important because you're gonna get a very thorough cardiovascular workout if you follow the workout we're gonna lay out. So you're already getting a cardiovascular workout. You're already benefiting your heart, so you don't have to freak out about that. Stretching is much more important than finishing the cardio, and I would even venture to say stretching is more important than you think for body composition. A lot of people wonder why they stop gaining muscle or can't lose any more fat, and it has a little bit to do with overall, like, the more flexible you are and the more mobile you are, the more potential output you have when you're working out, and the more potential calories can be burned. So that is one way to further your fitness level, and it's also going to help with overall how you feel and recovery and not being as sore and feeling better post-workout. Rather than feeling like you just got the dog shit beat out of you, you know, you can actually feel relatively good, have a meal, and you could do it again. That's how you should feel. After you have a post-workout meal, you should feel like within the next hour to 2 that you could go work out again. If you don't feel that way, you might have went too hard.
And I believe we did a video on the flexibility and mobility a couple weeks back there, so be sure to look back and check on that.
Yeah.
Kind of covering in detail a little bit of what he's talking about, the benefits of flexibility there. So.
Sure. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. You got. That's really all there is to it. It's not that difficult just to get in, get out, get it done. So we'll list our workout for you in the description. You can take that right out of the description and follow it exercise for exercise in here. And you also, you know, feel welcome to make changes to it, customize it for you, whatever works best. Feel free to come by, talk with us. We can also help you write out a program and get going. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.